You know, before I get into the meat of this video, there's a few things that I need to say up front that will, of course, serve as the intro to this masterpiece. Now, you've seen the title of this video, and the pic that I'm going to show y'all that's worth 1,000 words. I'm gonna show you that in a minute. But before I show you the picture, I have to inform you that I'm going to be politically correct, as y'all know how I do. When I show you the image, I'm going to just give you an overview of that image, and then we're going to address it in the whole. Y'all should know this is second nature. It's like breathing. You know what it is. If you want to see that video dealing with this picture that's worth 1,000 words, because it got a lot in it, and I'm going to show you that picture in a minute, but there's a lot in this picture, and I'll explain that to y'all when we get to it. The other thing that I wanted to say is that, you know, I'm going to produce those rabbit hole productions because I want to watch this Ohio State-Oklahoma football game. Y'all know it's football season. You know what it is. College football on Saturday and NFL on Sunday. But let me say this, because I get a lot of blowback from individuals who don't really subscribe to my position on black quarterbacks. And here's what I want y'all to do. If you disagree with my assessment of black quarterbacks, I tell you what I want you to do. I want y'all to watch that Ohio State Buckeyes and Oklahoma football game. Pay particular attention to Ohio State's quarterback, J.T. Barrett, which is the prototypical black quarterback, which is one of the reasons why I tell y'all that I'm not a fan of them. And for those of y'all who don't understand, watch that game. That's all I'm going to say. Just watch that game. Watch J.T. Barrett, Ohio State Buckeyes quarterback. And this is one of the reasons why I don't like Ohio State, amongst many others. But one of the top reasons is that they don't go out and recruit true quarterbacks. But watch that game tonight, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm going to get these rabbit hole productions out of the way because I want to sit back and watch that game. And y'all know I'm not going to be producing no rabbit holes on Sunday with NFL season starting. Well, actually, it started Thursday, but for the Pittsburgh Steelers, 6-time Super Bowl champs, don't start on Sunday. Let me take that back because who they're playing is like a 5th preseason game. So, but be that as it may, y'all know what it is, second nature, like breathing. If you want that whole, send me an email. I'll send you the link. The pic that says 1,000 words. It's a lot in it. I'm going to show y'all that in a minute. But before we get to that, let's get into this. And oftentimes, you know, I get some blowback from black men. And the blowback that I get from black men is that they have a problem when I call them beta males, when I call them beta male Negroes. And oftentimes I have to come back and I have to remind black men that, you know, when I talk about the dysfunction of this Negro, the best thing that I can use as an example to highlight that dysfunction is the Negro himself. This is what I mean, when brothers come to me and complain about my assessment of black men, I oftentimes tell them that y'all are the ones that's proving my point. That's all I do is I just highlight y'all's behavior. Likewise, when I call black men beta males, and they get offended, they don't like it, I come back and I tell them, listen, I'm not moving the goalposts. I mean, there is a textbook definition of the term beta male. There are certain characteristics that you can apply to a beta male. So when I look at black men, again, I'm not moving the goalpost. It's stationary. It's sitting right there. And what happens is that y'all actually go out and fulfill that textbook definition. This is the reason why I come back and I say y'all are beta male Negroes. And even though I'm just highlighting your behavior, that's all I'm doing. I mean, I'm not doing nothing that requires any kind of sophisticated analysis. I'm just merely understanding what the term means, the textbook definition of the term, and I'm looking at black men. And again, we are not moving the goalposts, and y'all meet that definition. Y'all go right between the goalposts. So what else can I call y'all? Y'all want me to deny what I see. And I know y'all wondering, what does it got to do with the picture? It's fitting, because when I show you the picture, and I'm going to show you that in a minute, because there's a lot in this picture. And when y'all see this picture, people will try to deny what is evident. It's right there in front of you. I don't have to say anything. The image speaks for itself. And this is the reason why I come back and I often tell y'all, and if you follow me in my rabbit holes, I've told y'all this. You know, I can set it in your lap. The best thing I can do, I can show you better than I can tell you. Since you disagree with what I say, will you or can you disagree with what you see? Because now I have nothing to do with what you see. That's on you. So you disagree with how I said. You want to talk about why you call black men apes. Why do you call them Negroes? They get all caught up in the semantics. So they disagree with what I say. But let me ask you, will you disagree with what you see? Because what you see is not based upon my interpretation. You can see it for yourself. And this is what I tell black men, and this is fitting for this image. And as I looked at this image, I sat back and I said, it's amazing how the media missed this. It's amazing how black folks miss this. Because again, the image, there's so much in this. And I know y'all will you show me the image already? I'm about to show it to you, don't worry. Keep your panties on for some of you black men. Keep your thong on. I'm going to show you in a minute. And I want you to view it. And I want you to take into consideration, because see now, for those of y'all who have taken courses in the Rabbit Hole Productions, y'all gonna look at this image and y'all gonna be like, God damn it, he's right one more again. Y'all gonna see it. Y'all gonna see it for what it is. For those of y'all who are still in denial, y'all gonna deny what y'all see. This is the reason why I started off with black men just merely highlighting their behavior. Can you deny what you see? What you see ain't got nothing to do with how I say it. The verbiage, the semantic, ain't got nothing to do with none of that. Can you deny what you see? And the answer is no. That's the reason why I come back one more again and constantly tell you, okay, you disagree with how I say it. You don't agree with the things that I say. You're upset over the verbiage, but now will you disagree with what you see with your own eyes? Because it's your eyes that will give you your own interpretation. There's no need to sit back and try to analyze this. It is what it is. This is a photo taken from the Hurricane Harvey. Y'all remember the whole to-do surrounding that hurricane? And there's a lot in this photo. There's a lot in this photo. There's a lot in this. And see, most people just blew over their head. They didn't get it. They just paid no attention to it because, again, this is something the media is not going to tell you. Just like the media won't tell you the real reason why those protesters in Charlottesville, what they're really angry about. And I said this in the cigar shop just the other day. I'm talking to some brothers, and I told them that those protesters have a legitimate gripe. And those brothers looked at me dumbfounded. How can you say that? And I explained my position to them. And after I explained my position to them, they say, you know what? I never thought about it like that. You got a point. And since the media won't tell y'all, what I'm going to do later on in the week is I'm going to produce a video explaining to y'all what those protesters in Charlottesville, what they're really pissed off about. The media won't tell you this, but I will. Watch for that video later on in the week. But back to the photo. Now, this was the literal third bite of the apple for Donald Trump. This was the third bite of the apple. You remember the first time Donald Trump goes down to Houston, he blunders everything. His wife gets on Air Force One wearing stiletto heels. Everybody went berserk. She comes off Air Force One after everybody's getting on her for wearing heels to a hurricane disaster zone. She's got on tennis shoes and got on a different shirt. Just look like she's chilling. He goes out. He doesn't meet with any of the people who had died or the people that's in shelters. He didn't meet with anybody or mention anyone who had lost their life. He goes out and he brags about his crowd size. Y'all remember this. This is the first time he went down there. Wow, this is a wonderful crowd. Then that was the first bite of the apple. The second bite of the apple was when Pence went. Michael Pence went later in the week. I believe that was on a Tuesday when Donald Trump went. Mike Pence went on like a Wednesday or a Thursday. And this here was on Saturday. This was the third bite of the apple. He goes down there again. This time he goes to the shelter. He's handing out food. He's doing a photo op. That's where this photo is from. This is the third bite of the apple. In a span of a week, it took him 3 times to get this shit right. But that's a subject for another video. So he's taking the photo with the black women, which again, if you have to understand that this is all designed. And not necessarily this picture, but the ideal of taking pictures with black folks. This is all orchestrated. I mean, this is all designed. It's done for optics. This is the reason why Melania wearing heels was bad imagery. I don't blame her. I blame her handlers. Her handlers should have told her, listen, that's a bad look. Don't do that. Now I'd come back and say, we don't care what we wear. No, it's optics. It's about imagery. That's the reason why he comes back on the third time and he's taking photos with people in shelters, because it's all about imagery. This is the reason why when you look at the president, no matter who the president is, do you think for a moment that when he's speaking, be it at a campaign rally or he's speaking, at some function, do you think that the people who are seated behind him are just there by happenstance? No, those people are vetted. Those people are screened. You ain't gonna just walk in and sit behind the president. It's just not gonna happen. Now, it has happened where people have snuck in because, we've known that there have been times people have sat behind the president and, done rude things while he's speaking or had on shirts or put up signs, and they don't want that. So they vet the people who sits behind the president. You're just not gonna walk in there and get that seat because you're first in line. Not happening. It's all orchestrated. He wants to appear that he's catering to black people, so I want a black guy standing there holding the sign saying blacks for Trump. This is all orchestrated. These pictures, which there's a lot in this picture, and if you bend down the hole, you can see this. Now this flew over the media, flew over these Negroes, but it didn't flow over mine because I always have my radars up. And when I seen this picture, I thought to myself, well, I'll be damned. Because I know the fact that they're going out to want him to take pictures with people in shelters. I know that's orchestrated. I understand that. But they made a mistake with this picture here, because this picture and the imagery, the people that's in it, that was no mistake. Now, taking the picture with the women, yeah, that's orchestrated. We want you to take pictures with black folks, take selfies with black folks, but they made a mistake. One crucial mistake. There's one image in this picture that speaks volumes. And I'm not going to tell y'all what that is. You're going to have to go to the hole to get this. I told you I'm going to tickle the sides of the plate here, but I'm going to go to the hole and address it right down the middle. But if you've been there and you've seen it, you already know what it is. You can look at this picture and see exactly what I'm talking about. You see it. Because it speaks volumes. There's a lot in this. There is a lot in this photo. And the fact that when you look at how all of this was set up. The third bite of the apple. It took you 3 times in the span of a week to get this shit right. And now you're finally in the shelter, you're finally meeting with people, you're taking photos with people, which is a good thing. This looks good for the president. This is all about imagery. Again, this is the reason why Melania in the hills going to a disaster zone, bad image, bad look. It makes you appear as though you're out of touch. It's the same with George Bush, who was criticized when Hurricane Katrina hit. And you may remember this. They came hard on George Bush because he opted, well, not him, but his handlers opted to have him do a flyover. So they got an image of George Bush in Air Force One looking down on the destruction from Hurricane Katrina. That's bad imagery. It appears as if you're looking down. You're not good enough to go. And that's what the optics. And that's the same with Melania in the hills. That was the same with Trump. Look at my crowd size. That bad optics. So the second time they send Mike Pence down, that wasn't good enough. So the third bite of the apple, you got to go and you got to meet with these people in these shelters. You got to shake hands. You got to hand out some food. And in the process of the third bite of the apple, we get this image here. And there's a lot in this image. It's right there in front of your face. It's just like when I started the video off telling black men, listen, all I'm doing is looking at your behavior. That's all I'm doing. It's not rocket science. There is a textbook definition of the term beta male. We know this. There's a textbook definition. I'm not using my definition. If I was using my definition, that would be equivalent to me moving the goalposts. Since there is a textbook definition, that takes that goalpost and it renders it stationary. Now, either you put it between those two poles or you miss it because it's a stationary target now. Using my definition, we move the goalpost. We don't want to do that. We want to use the textbook definition of beta male. And when we look at black men, y'all fit that definition right between that goalpost, that stationary goalpost. Can't miss it. Lot in that. All I'm doing looking at your behavior. Likewise, the image here. Lot in this picture. There's a lot in this picture, man. I'm telling you, and you're only going to be able to get this if you venture down that hole. Because for most people, they will look at this and they'll think, oh, ain't that cute? Oh, look at Trump. He don't hate black people. He taking pictures with them. Ain't that a good thing? And you got the black male standing in the background. You got a young black boy standing completely out of the picture. Let me back up because I'm going in the hole. I don't want to give you too much. I won't give you too much. Because I didn't already, tickled your taste buds just a little bit too much. So I'm going to back up. Because I'm going to fully send it down the center of the plate. In the hole. Because there's a lot in this picture. And the only way that you're going to get this, the only way this is going to make sense to you, is if you have ventured down that hole and you can look at this image and see what it is. Don't give me your justification. You Donald Trump cheerleaders, don't you beta male Negro Donald Trump cheerleaders, miss me with that bullshit. Miss me with that bullshit. I mean, I'm going to digress and say this. But, the election of Donald Trump, what this really demonstrated for the black community and the black race is just how inundated the black race is with beta males. I mean, it really does. That's what the election of Donald Trump has revealed, that amongst many other things. But, that's a subject for another video. But the photo, there's a lot in this. There's a lot in this photo. And like I said, I'm not going to, I want you to tickle your taste buds a little bit, give you a little appetizer, give you some things to think about. I want you to look at this picture. I want you to look at it. Look, just look, look what's going on in the picture. This is not doctor. This is not, and again, people, because I know I'm a master with the memes, and I go into my laboratory, in which you're going to see a couple of my delectable memes at the end of the video. But, I go into my laboratory, and I like creating delectable, classic, irrefutable memes. I do that shit. I just use my creativity, and I come up with all kinds of shit. This is not one of them. Because you'll notice anytime I use an image that's not mine, I will not put my Twitter handle on it. My Twitter handle is stamped on all of my productions. All of my memes, I will stamp my Twitter handle on it. This image is not my image. This is a literal image. Now, this is my image, and I think this is a damn good one. It's some good shit. Look, I'm not one for tooting my own horn, but goddamn it, beat. That's some classic shit. But anyway, let's get to the video. The image. When you look at that image and you pay particular close attention to what you see, and this is what I want y'all to do. I want y'all to look at it again, analyze it. Most of y'all have figured it out. There's a lot of y'all that's going to look at that and y'all going to see exactly, and y'all going to know exactly where I'm going. Y'all going to look at it and see it for what it is, because there's a lot in it. Now, I can give you my interpretation, and most people would disagree. They're going to disagree with what I have to say because that's my opinion and that's my interpretation. Okay, that's fine. You can disagree with my opinion and my interpretation. That's fair game. That's I don't have no problem with that. But can you disagree with what you see? That's why I showed you the image. Now, you may disagree with my analysis. You may disagree and think that my analysis is faulty and biased, which, in being fair, it may be. But can you deny what you just seen? I showed you the image. If you want to look at it one more again, go right ahead. You can see it for yourself. You ain't got to even worry about my analysis. Look at the image. There's a lot in that image. And the media just bypassed that shit. Black folks just bypassed that shit. The media did the same thing, and again, this is the reason why I told you I'm going to come back next week and I'm going to do that video. Watch out for that video that I'm going to do where I tell y'all the legitimate gripe that those white nationalists, those Ku Klux Klan, those Nazi sympathizers, I'm going to tell you in a video next week the legitimate gripe that they have, that the media will not cover, that the Negro will not address, because he's partly mixed up in this. He doesn't understand how now, and again, when I mentioned this to the guys in the cigar shop, they looked dumbfounded until I thoroughly explained it to them. After I explained to them what this gripe is about, they said, you know what? Damn, I never thought of it that way. Yeah, I know. See, that's what I do. I can lead you to the water, but you're going to have to drink this shit for yourself. At some point, you got to reach down and drink this shit for yourself. I can show you, and I will show you. Have no problem with that. But in showing you, you're going to have to drink this shit for yourself. So you know what this is. It's second nature like breathing. Y'all know that if you want to see my interpretation on that image, you know what it is. Send me an email. I'm going to certainly send you that link to that image that says a lot. Like I said, a picture is worth 1,000 words. That image says a lot of shit. It really does. And although you may disagree with my analysis and what I say, you can't disagree with what you see. So we're going to go back and we're going to analyze this. You know what it is, second nature like breathing. Send me an email. I'm going to certainly send you the link. And then later on in the week, I don't know exactly when, but I'm going to do that video dealing with what is the legitimate gripe. that these individuals have, and to say that there is a legitimate gripe, black people don't want to hear this. They get offended. They get upset. They don't like it. Because you don't want to appear like you're giving white racists a pass. And you're not really giving a pass. You're just analyzing it for what it is. And there is a legitimate gripe in this. And I'm not going to give you what it is. I'm not going to tickle your taste buds. But I will produce that video. I'm thinking sometime next week. If you follow me on Twitter, you know I'll announce it before I even get ready to produce it. And the more I think about it, I don't know, I may have to take it to the hole. I may have to go down the hole. I don't know. I'm up in the air with that, depending on, you know, what angle. I mean, I already know the angle, but depending on, you know, how harsh it's going to be. That would determine whether I'm going to do it in the hole or whether I'm going to do it in a public video. So that's coming later on in the week. You know what it is. Send me an email. I'll send you the link for that masterful picture that says 1,000 words, man. I mean, go back and look at it. It is what it is. I mean, what you want from me? All I could do is just show you sitting in your lap, because at the end of the day,